Boys, what's the weather like where you are?
It's a little chilly today.
It's Steel City Dan weather. That's what it is.
It's hoodie and shorts weather. That's literally basically what I'm wearing. It's just a zip up hoodie. It's amazing. It's that slow transition into fall. Give it to me. The sun is out. The sun is out. That's the big thing. But we're getting there.
Yeah. So it's like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
That's borderline hoodie and shorts weather to me, anyways. I feel like it needs to be like 60. Then I'm comfortable because I could like sweat still.
Right. So the thing about like today, I think the high was like 73 and the lows in the 50s. It was one of you wake up and it's chilly enough that, you're in a hoodie and shorts until around lunchtime. And then like the sun, like Dan said, if you're lucky and the sun is out, it like warms the house up and everything else up. And then you can transition into your old summer attire.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect for me. Where it's warm enough in the afternoon, where it still feels like summer. You got the fall starting your day, and then you finish back with the hoodie and the shorts to end the day as well, with the days getting shorter, which I'm not a fan of. But if it gives me hoodie and shorts weather, I'm taking it. And I'm enjoying it. But like this week is supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to be 80 here tomorrow, and then the high on Saturday is 63. That's a little chilly.
Yeah.
That one's a little chilly for me. So we're in a crazy situation right now where we can't decide which season it is.
We're doing a home tailgate for the Pitt game on Saturday. The game kicks off at noon. So we're doing a home tailgate that starts at like 8 in the morning with the high of 63. I'm like, we're going to have to take our winter jackets to my parents' house to tailgate in for a game on September 20th or whatever the hell it's going to be on Saturday. Yeah. So that I'm not necessarily a fan of that.
Well, in my neck of the woods, it is beautiful weather outside, but there's one problem. California's on fire. I don't know if you knew this.
Yeah.
So
that's an issue.
We can't go outside. It is the weirdest thing. And like, I appreciate people calling me and like texting me and stuff, because anytime there's fires in California, people think that I'm on fire. So like so I just get phone calls. So I'll wake up in the morning and like me and Siobhan both have text messages from like everybody from home saying, friends, family, whatever, asking us if we're okay. We're fine. Nothing's happening like next to us. It's all NorCal right now. I'm not saying there couldn't be other fires, somewhere else, but our sky is like this weird orange color, and it is smoky as like, it smells like there's like Rib Fest is going on down the street. That's what it smells like outside all the time. And like, you just can't go outside. It's weird.
I've seen some of those photos from LA of like the sun rising, but the sky is already orange, and it's just like, yeah, it looks nuts.
Yeah, it is pretty nutty. But one place we don't live is Denver, and it's snowing there. I don't know how anyone can live in a place where it snows in September. And you guys know I hate precipitation of all. I just hate it, period. I can't stand it. Like, I don't like clouds. I don't like anything. But like, it snowed there last week for like 2 days.
And that's like not that far away from you, DD. Like, it's not that far away.
It's not. I don't want that.
No, I don't want that either. Not yet. We had this conversation over the weekend with some friends where the locations of some of the best cities in America make absolutely no sense. These cities that are amazing, like New Orleans and Houston, like, they're in places that suck in terms of the weather a lot of the year. And the geographical location of these cities just doesn't make any sense. Like, why did they choose to pick a city that's under sea level? That's not a good idea. But the city's amazing. So it's all these cities you want to travel to. Denver, why are you up that high? Like, I'm sure we could get that thing a little bit lower and enjoy some more sun and not as much snow. And if you want to go, you travel to there. Some of these locations, our forefathers didn't do us any favors picking these cities.
Yeah. How do people like settle in Denver? Did they climb and climb and climb? And then they were like, no, I'm done climbing. We're done here.
This is
the end of the road. I don't care. This is where we're living.
We're building the city here. We're building it.
I'm, it's funny because like I was talking about this weekend about Miami because there's it's hurricane season going on, and I was like, it just must suck to live in Miami knowing that like once August whatever hits, you have to just start like getting ready for the possible evacuation.
Right.
Because you know that it's not out of the realm of possibility that's just going to happen to you. Not saying it'll like destroy the city like it has in the past, but it's just like every year, like between these times, you have to go. That would just, I'm like, is it worth it? And also, founding fathers, why did you put a city down there?
Why is there a great city down? There are great cities down in Florida. Too many great cities in Florida that just get wiped out every couple of years. It's just not right.
Yeah, makes absolutely no sense. Well, guys, now that we gave everybody their weather report from around the country and blamed our founding fathers for stuff, welcome to the Brunch Breakdown. I'm Didi out here in LA. Dan and Chris are in Pittsburgh, and we have a very, very nice menu of things that I hope we get to all of them today. We're going to talk about Dan and Chris went to Deep Creek. They got away. Chris finally got away. I feel like Chris needed to get away more than anybody I've ever met. So we'll be talking about that here in a few. The Fresh Prince house is on Airbnb, and we're going to talk about where we would like to stay in a TV house or a movie house or maybe it's a sports stadium, whatever. We'll talk about that. And then we are going to have a very heated debate about ranking desserts. And we will tell you more about that here in a bit. And plus, we'll talk about what we are listening to in music. But let's get it started, guys, with Get It Off Your Chest. Dan, get it started.
What I'm going to get it started with is something that's a little near and dear to my heart because I'm Dan the property man in one of my lives. And I live in a townhouse complex that has a homeowners association or an HOA. And usually I'm fairly a proponent of these things because yes, they cost you every month. You have to pay an HOA fee every month, but to not have to worry about the things that they take care of is usually a beautiful thing. Not have to worry about a yard, not worried about some other maintenance. If there's an issue with your roof, oftentimes it falls on the HOA. The sucky thing about the HOA is that they usually have control over things and you don't get to voice your opinion over. And unfortunately, my complex received a notice from our HOA this week that says you can no longer have a grill on your outside deck. No grills.
What?
Any type of grill.
Whoa.
Yeah. And along with some other things like no string lights, like you guys have seen like the bistro lights that we have up there, which aren't even on every night. But it's one thing to control the front of the house and how it looks so it fits the standard. But now they're controlling the back that nobody can see. Where in the hell am I supposed to put my brand new grill that I just got, by the way, a week before this came out? A week before it came out, I got this big brand new grill that I was so excited to use. And I was absolutely furious when this note came across from our HOA of all the things that you cannot have outside on your front porch, your back porch, your deck. You can't have anything anywhere, basically, anymore. HOAs blow. I'm done with them. I'm absolutely done with them because now there's like a revolution coming in our complex about people. Other people are emailing, like have this email chain going about like, we're not going to stand for this. Just because the HOA can do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Down with the HOA. We're voting these sons of bitches out of office. And so there's a revolution going on here. And I own property that has an HOA that I've dealt with. I've been in this one for a while. I'm usually okay with them, but down with them. Forget them. If they're going to be pulling shit like this, garbage like this, we've got a revolution coming in your way. Big time hurt. I'm going to be putting all the lawn ornaments out on the house. I'm going to be putting flags, draping them anywhere. Find my ass. Let's go. I'm here for it. So down with HOAs, boys. I'm sick of them. No grills? Come on.
I got a couple of things here. Number one, you saying that a revolution's coming has me picturing you in like the reboot of Les Mis, but it's in your neighborhood.
Yes.
And you guys are going to barricade the street.
Oh, we're going. Let's go.
I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You guys are taking down the HOA. Why don't you just become the head of the HOA?
I might have to now. We're voting every single one of those a-holes out of office immediately. The next meeting, and all their meetings are virtual now, so it's going to be, we can't yell at them in person, which isn't as fun, but we've got their names on a list, and I'm just glad that other people felt the same way that I did, and hopefully something is stirring that we can reverse these decisions. It's ridiculous.
What's the justification that they provided? Or did they just say you can't?
They haven't given one, which is even more ridiculous. Whether it's a safety thing, it's not like anything's happened, like somebody's unit burned down because they had a grill back there. And I would maybe understand, like, no charcoal grills out on the deck when you have an awning, something like that. There are certain things I get that might be a little bit more dangerous than others. But to just say none whatsoever and give no reasoning behind it, like the lights thing, I don't understand that either. So what if my unit looks better than your freaking unit? Okay, that's on you. That's not on me. And like I said, having all of the fronts look the same, I get. You don't want anything on front porches, whatever. But the back of the unit that isn't visible to the street, that's where you cross the line. That's my unit, friend.
I mean, they picked the timing when nobody can really go to restaurants, and the only option you have is to cook at home, to say then you can't grill in the back of your house.
Absolutely. Terrible timing for all this. I've never seen something so outrageous dealing with HOAs in my career, and revolution.
What kind of grill did you buy?
It was a gift. My previous grill was like basically a tailgating grill. We used one of those like little propane tanks, so I had to buy like 5 or 6 a year, and it did the job. But now I've got a nice 3-burner Weber grill. It's got a little light on it, which is again perfect for this time of year, where you pull up and the light shines right down on the grill, so I'm not grilling in the dark. Got the full size propane tank. It's beauty. It's a beauty. I'm hopeful that I can use it soon without being fined.
Damn.
Like, those are things I can't even like hide that, right? I can't even like, oh, just put it off to the side. Can't do it. So it's not going anywhere. I can tell you that. It's still out there right now.
That's sad. I'm sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
I am.
So
get your picket signs ready. Get your picket signs ready. My God. I can't get over the revolution.
Join the revolution.
That's going to be a revolution. I wish more people who are listening to this knew what your apartment complex look, what your housing, what your whatever they call it, whatever your shit's called, whatever that looks like, because it's just funny to think of a revolution happening.
And that, yeah, right. That's fair. This townhouse complex isn't one that you see most places. I'll definitely be leading the forefront with the elders behind me.
My God. Oh gosh. All right. Well, I'm going to get this off my chest, guys. Everybody has been complaining about Halloween being canceled, like it's because they canceled it here. And that was, I think, that maybe the first one in the country. So then, it gets shared everywhere. Everyone's like, oh my God, they better not cancel Halloween, or they're going to cancel Halloween where I'm at. They're going crazy. And guys, don't care about Halloween. Care about Thanksgiving, because those are coming soon. The recommendations to cancel Thanksgiving are coming. To cancel Christmas are coming, guys. Like, you're not sitting on Santa Claus's lap this year. Like, are you going to have buffet style with your family at Thanksgiving? People are going to be traveling in? That's not going to happen. And this may sound really depressing, but you know what? It is. And it's all your fault. Anybody who's listening to this who didn't wear a mask from starting in March, it's your fault. That's why we're here. So everybody who's mad about this, know that it's all your fault. This is what you deserve. It sucks for us. I'm not going to be able to see my whole family. I'm only going to see some people, some friends that I actually like trust and think they're safe. But guess what? It's all your fault, people. And it's coming. More people are going to be mad about Thanksgiving. So you're mad about Halloween. Nah. The recommendations are coming down for Thanksgiving very soon. They cancel the Macy's parade. That's not happening, or it's happening virtually or something like that, but that's not happening. Shit is going to be weird, and it's going to suck, and it's all because you idiots didn't wear your masks, and you didn't do exactly what you're supposed to do, and just forget that, like, yeah, there's a pandemic going on. Everyone be safe, but you can't be trusted, and it sucks. It really does suck, and this is very depressing. But I'm trying to be positive about it and thinking that maybe this will get people to finally do what they're told. But probably not. Who knows?
Dude, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about all that stuff. All that stuff's going to be coming up. Like, can you imagine what shopping during the holidays is going to be like? They already canceled all these Black Friday sales. Can you imagine having to try to go out to stores when there's limits everywhere? How much longer that's going to take than usual? And especially now that a lot of people are going to be shipping and sending gifts more as it is anyways, because they're not going to be able to travel. Like you said, I'm a big fan of Halloween, but man, you're right. This is big time holiday stretch coming around, and people are going to be canceling Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those things that go along with it. The parade, New Year's Eve is going to be here before we freaking know it. Not going to be able to be around too many people for that either. Oof. Damn, dude, you're right. This is going to be a rough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we recently actually just started having some conversations about that because, like, we're planning to go to Wisconsin to be with Katie's family for Thanksgiving, and then Christmas will be back here. And, just having the conversations of, like, everybody's got to kind of understand that, like, this is going to be that holiday we look back at and say, that sucked. We didn't get to do a lot of the traditional things that we normally do. And everybody's just going to have to kind of try and find a way to make the best of it. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be like, it's not realistic to think that you can have the big family parties and have everybody in there and it'd be safe. It's just, you can't guarantee that. So I think it's going to be a lot of just immediate family being together because it's just lower risk. But yeah, it's a bummer. It's a big bummer.
Yeah, it's a big bummer. Because I just saw all of the Halloween stuff people getting mad about, and I'm not the biggest Halloween fan, but I was like, this is about to get like worse, because you just think about all those holidays, like that you're grabbing food out of bowls that everybody's grabbing out of. Everybody eats buffet style. That's really the main thing. It's like it's like somebody's mom or grandma or whoever makes a bunch of food, and then you all just go in a line, and everyone is coming in from shifts. People are flying in from all over the place. It's like, that's just something that's not going to happen. But for all you idiots out there who didn't wear your masks, didn't do anything, this is all your fault. So I'm so ready to shame everybody for doing this, because those will be the people who are the most mad about all of this happening. And like, yeah, this holiday's just got to be different, and it sucks, but that's just how it's got to be.
I tried to convince people by putting the fate of football season out there. I did my best on this podcast to scare the living shit out of people by saying you won't get football. We have football, but they're taking our Thanksgiving. So, man, I guess that's the price to pay.
Dude, yeah. The NBA screwed that all up for everybody. If the NBA had a little bit of trouble, I think it would have scared some people.
But they did it perfectly.
Yeah, they did it freaking perfectly. It's like you needed a little bit of trouble just to scare people a little bit. But no, it was like, no, we have zero. Like, no one can get in the bubble. We have zero. We test people like 80 times a day. No one's got it. We're good. And then it was like, well, yeah, we're going to play football. Let's go. So, yeah. And then everybody doesn't care anymore. So we needed a little bit of help from, baseball didn't do it. We needed the NBA to help us out. But, all right, Chris, get it off your chest.
Yeah, well, so kind of along the lines of sports coming back and whatnot, this past weekend for me, on a number of levels, felt kind of like normal life for the first time in 6 or more months. You mentioned at the start, Didi, that we went to the lake for a weekend and we were able to go there with some of our friends. Luckily, we were able to get everybody on the same page in terms of, what we would actually have to do to be able to get everybody in that situation. And everybody was very responsible and it worked out well. So that was great. But what really, so we were able to do that, hang out with friends, be on the boat, have some drinks and just enjoy each other's time, which was fantastic. And the part that made it really feel like normal for me was watching college football. We've had a couple of weeks of it, but this past week was really the first one where there were quite a few games that you'd actually want to watch that were on Saturday. And we obviously weren't able to be at the stadium, but we were able to throw our own tailgate. We were able to hang out, do all the tailgate things that you would normally do. And it was a blast. And then the next day I woke up, got in the car to drive home. It was chilly outside. It felt like fall. I was able to download some podcasts that, were recapping the day in football that just happened. And as I was driving, I was like, I feel like I'm driving home from a road trip, which we go to a lot of college football games on the road every year. And it was just awesome to feel like there was some return to normal life, even though things still are very much different. I was very thankful for that. So that's what I'm coming into this week with, is just a overwhelming feeling of thankfulness because we were able to do that and enjoy ourselves. Feel some of that normalcy again. So that's what I want to get off my chest, is just that it was a great time, and I'm thankful to have that little slice of normalcy, because for myself and my wife Katie, it had been a really long time since we've seen anybody, and it was great. And I don't know how long it's going to be until we get to do that again, but we were grateful that we were able to do it.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good time. It was nice to be able to be away. And we've talked about this in this podcast before, about if you have a chance to get away, freaking do it. It doesn't have to be that far. You don't have to get on a plane. Find a way to do it safely, smartly, and that's what we did. And yeah, it was nice to be around friends that we hadn't seen in a while and not have to be thinking about all this other outside noise and stuff in the world, and being comfortable around people like it was a normal time. And like you said, Chris, with college football on and hockey was on, which normally if those are two overlap, it's the beginning of hockey season, but it's the going into the Stanley Cup final now. It was kind of cool to see those things and have it feel even more normal. So it was a nice, again, encouraging people to get away when they can, get away from the noise, because it paid off big time.
Yeah. How did it feel, Chris, to leave? Because you went a long time without being.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Today's September 15th. Was it April, May, June, July, August, September? It was basically a full 6 months where the only people that Katie and I saw in person were basically my parents and her parents. We had one moment early on where it was all of our friend Slaw. It was his birthday. We did a drive-by at his house. So I saw Dan from our car. We had another time where he had some friends over, and we knew it was pretty much our last chance to be around anybody in person. And we were there for about 45 minutes. That's all we really felt comfortable doing. And then since that point, we hadn't seen anybody other than our parents. So it felt honestly like I was a little bit on edge early on in the trip, just because when you haven't been around people for so long, you don't remember how to act. It sounds weird, but you don't remember. And especially when the pandemic is still going on and you're like, well, I don't want to be too close to you, but I don't want to be a dick. And we want to enjoy ourselves, but how can we do so comfortably? It took me until the third day to really just start to feel comfortable with everything. So it was pretty strange, but overall good, and much needed.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was saying a couple weeks ago, man. I can't even describe what it felt like to just be gone. It felt so good just to drive 2 hours. I've driven, I feel like driving to Target is the longest I drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's oh man, because there's no traffic, there's nothing. It's it takes me no time to get to anything. So it's just, but it's a great feeling. So I'm happy you got to do that, especially adding a kid in the pandemic and all of that stuff too. So yeah. It's good that you got to get the hell out. But you guys did something awesome on this trip. Did you guys make a Zzomellete? Did you make a pizza omelet? I need to know.
We didn't make a Zzomellete, but I did pizza eggs, which I learned that there was, despite the level of detail we went into about pizza eggs and Zzomeletes on the podcast, like still nobody understood it.
Yeah, there's a
So
big
we like,
discrepancy.
yeah,
Told
like
you.
as a group, we talked it out. We figured out what we were going to do. And yeah, I don't know. Dan, I didn't even eat them. Dan ate them. So
I did. It worked out perfectly where we ordered pizza the night before and eggs were on the menu for breakfast. And so we had discussed it. And I asked Chris, I'm like, okay, to be clear here, because I went back and listened to it. And one thing he said was not the crust, but you cut up the pieces of the pizza. So I'm thinking not the outer crust. That makes sense. That's just bread. Turns out there's no like crust at all in pizza eggs. It's literally scraping the toppings off of pizza, which by the way, kind of ruins a piece of pizza. But anyways, you scrape the cheese and whatever toppings and the sauce off the pizza. You kind of like cut that up because it's like, as Chris called it, like, can anybody cut up this skin flab of cheese? I believe he said. And then you mix that into the eggs. And guess what? It was freaking delicious. That I could get on board for. I felt way more comfortable than like pieces of pizza with crust included in the eggs there, because that's I think what really threw this whole thing off last time and just derailed the train. But it works out depending on the topping. It was cheese and sausage, which worked out beautifully with the eggs. And I'm on board. We should have taken it to the next level with the Zzomellete, but I was sold there with that version of pizza eggs.
well, so we learned that there's a discrepancy in terminology when it comes to pizza. And I
Right.
think this would be interesting for us to all talk about is that like when I said there's no crust, like to me, like there's obviously an outer crust, but all of the bread is in my mind, the crust. So like that's when I said no crust. I was like, yeah, there's none of the dough ends up in the eggs. But Dan just pictured the outer crust and thinking I'm like putting the inner part in there. I should have dug in and said, okay, define crust.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think that means.
Are you including undercrust? That was
Under
the big.
crust.
That's basically what that is. But yeah, when I heard crust, I thought the outside edge of that. Didi, tell me where you were in this whole thing.
No, I'm the outer crust. I would never have thought. Not that you're wrong, Chris, because you're right. That's still the crust.
still
Like
crust,
they
yeah.
call it thin crust pizza for a reason. Like that's the whole crust.
Yeah.
So like I get. So you're not wrong, but yeah, when I think crust, I just think of the outer crust, the stuff that Pizza Hut stuffs. That's what I think of as crust.
Right.
They don't stuff the whole pizza.
That's right,
They
because
just
like
stuff the outside.
stuffed crust is literally the outside crust, but thin crust is the whole thing.
Yeah.
That would
Which
be great if it was just the outside was thin. What the hell is this? Thin crust? I didn't mean just the outside. But yeah, they refer to it and it means totally different things just there. So again, it's the pizza industry that caused this confusion.
Yeah, because like when I think of like if you get like pie crust in a tin, like you get the whole thing. You don't just get the outside.
Right.
So I just like think of it as a whole thing.
Huh. That's true. I mean, it's no one's wrong here. I don't think
Pizza
it's just,
discussions can get deep. You don't realize it, but they can.
I just never thought about that. Like I never thought of it as a way because of course, if you said pie crust, I'm not thinking about the pie crust at the top. I'm thinking about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, deep.
We go deep here on the brunch breakdown when it comes to food.
Dude, seriously. Also, here's a random brunch note. My daughter Saoirse is a brunch eater now. She does not eat pancakes in the morning, refuses. She'll have fruit in the morning. She'll have like maybe she'll have yogurt in the morning, but then I try to give her pancakes like I normally do, pancakes or whatever kind of breakfast food it is. She won't eat it. Lunchtime, destroys it. She's a brunch fan. So
she's in on brunch.
She's in for brunch.
Just like her father. She got the good genes there. She knows. She might like pizza eggs. I'm as crazy as it sounds, now it all makes sense. And yeah, with the right toppings, it came together well. I was very pleased.
Yeah, and I will say that the piece of pizza that we used for pizza eggs was cheese with sausage. So that pairs pretty well with some eggs, you know.
Okay. Still got to mix that pepperoni in. Got to get
the pepperoni and like a buffalo chicken pizza. Yeah, that's where we might need to have another discussion.
Buffalo chicken might be solid, but we'll talk about that another time.
Right.
All right, guys, let's get into the main course today. Fresh Prince, the house of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is on Airbnb. And you can rent it for a limited time. This all goes into they're doing a big reunion special and all of that. So there's a lot of press going on with like the Fresh Prince, and they're doing like a drama reboot of the Fresh Prince and all of that. And I think this thing looks amazing. Do you guys look at the listing?
Yes.
Like they made it all look like the house. I'm obsessed with this. It's only $30, which
right. Yeah, it looks absolutely
sweet.
Incredible inside. Like normally that would be $300 a night if it was a room that looked like that. But everything you get that's included, we'll put the link up. But that would be amazing to be able to be in like you get like a pair of Jordans, right? And you play basketball and you have access to the pool and you're there by yourself. This is pretty amazing. It's the exterior house from the show.
Yeah. I'm all in. I'm all in for this, but it got me thinking, guys. Where would you want to stay in the TV? If there's something from a TV show or from a movie set or from maybe it's a sports stadium, because they do this too. I know the Chicago Bulls every once in a while they'll like make one of their suites like basically a hotel room, and they like auction it off, and you stay there, like you watch a game from there, you stay there, like you stay the night, do all this stuff. But where would you guys want to do this?
What do you got, Christopher?
So the first place my mind went was like any of those house set TV, like the sets from TV of like the houses of the shows from when we were growing up. So like Fresh Prince would obviously be one, like the Family Matters house or the Boy Meets World house or Full House, which I know Dan, I don't think I was on that episode, but I know Dan is like real testy about it. So
yes, that's not on my list. Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
Right.
Because I'm picturing like, it being
what it's supposed to be.
The real deal. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where my mind first went, was like just those shows that I watched as a kid where every single episode was in the same 3 to 4 rooms of that house.
Yeah.
I will say I'm going to go back to Full House real quick because I got very angry after that episode. The clip went, everybody saw the clip. The reason the house, when we were on the street, and the Painted Ladies is what they're called, the reason it didn't look like that is because that's not the house that they freaking used. It's like streets back from there on some other street. So they just used that as a clip and they looked like it. But there's a bunch of houses in San Francisco that look like that. So the one that they use with the red door is located somewhere else. We're going to leave that there. I love this idea. Another one that I think I touched on in a couple episodes back for something different was the house from Home Alone, because of how big that house is. Like, give me big, give me bold, give me some like Richie Rich. Give me that estate. Blank check.
That's what I was just thinking. Give me blank check with everything he bought in it.
Most Sinbad movies have a big house in it that I would like to stay in.
Anything from Sinbad's catalog.
Anything from his catalog. The House Guest, that was probably I remember that being a pretty nice house. First Kid.
Kid.
That was a
yes.
house,
yes.
Right?
First Kid.
There you go. Dude. Great houses in Sinbad movies.
Is there a big house in Jingle All the Way?
Ooh.
That's the one where him and Arnold Schwarzenegger are like fighting over a toy.
I can't remember if there's a big house in there. It's got to be.
Because that's my favorite Sinbad.
Well, it's going to be on TV in like probably 3 weeks. So
seriously.
And then give me the set. This is one that like you were more talking about, Chris, like the set. Give me the set from the OG Willy Wonka movie. Give me the set there and let me just reign free, eating things out of the sky, drinking out of the chocolate river.
Dan's going to go all Augustus Gloop in that situation.
Oh, no doubt about it. I'm diving in. I'm backstroking in that thing. Just let's go.
The Richie Rich house is the one that like I immediately when I saw this Fresh Prince thing, I just thought Richie Rich. That's it. Because that was like the coolest house in the freaking world.
Yeah.
Even when you watch the movie now, there's still elements of that house because some of the stuff is like we have that technology now, so it's not as cool as it was back in like 1994 or whatever.
You mean the dad finder?
Yeah, GPS.
Not found. It's like, yeah, that's an iPhone now.
Yeah, that's what that is now. But like, just thinking about just like the roller coaster he had and just like all of that stuff, it's like that house was, incredible. But like any house from a movie or TV show that they had a butler would be big. That's the one where I would go.
Like I actually thought about Wayne Manor from Batman. I thought about that one because that's huge. But is it like too huge where you'd get lost in being there by yourself? I don't know.
Is Albert there to help you?
Albert,
whatever.
Albert, or you bring Albert.
Alfred.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean that would make a difference.
Because Alfred can, show you around, tell you what doors not to go through and stuff.
Yeah, tell me which book it is to get to the Batcave. If I can get to the Batcave, then sign me up for Wayne Manor. Yeah, any of those huge mansion houses. But would you want to stay in? I was trying to think of some like reality show ones. Like, would you want to stay in the house that they shoot like The Bachelor in The Bachelorette in? It's a huge house.
Yes.
I think that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
As long as none of those people are there.
Yeah. Like, I wish they would put the Bachelor house on Airbnb. I would rent it out for the whole, because that house is humongous. I mean, how many people stay in it? Like 35 or some shit like that. So like, yeah, the Bachelor house would actually that would be perfect. I feel like there's a lot of real world houses, like back when the real world was the real world. Like those houses were insane. So like, I would stay in a lot of those, like the Real World Vegas house that was just in the Palms Hotel that just like took up the whole floor or whatever.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Like, like that's the one. This was fun. This is good.
That. Yeah,
I like that.
If I had to pick a stadium, though, I think I might have to go Jerry World. As much as I hate the Cowboys and the idea of that stadium, although I need to see more of SoFi Stadium, which just opened in Inglewood. I mean, that has to be. It has to be better based on the price tag, but that's probably the automatic choice. But Jerry World, at least we know and have seen a little bit, and that anything that Jerry Jones has or does has, is every expectation is exceeded in every level in his private suite. So anywhere that you would stay is built for him. So it's the best of the best.
Yeah, I had SoFi Stadium on my list just because I watched that game the other day and I was like, all right, there's a lot of shit in there. So that would be cool.
You get $5 billion worth of shit in there. $5 billion. Like, and because it's funny because the last time I was there, I was around there was because the Forum is like right across the street, right? So when you were going to concerts in the Forum, basically from like the fall on, you were in that, like you're basically, they put you in like a dirt lot that's right next to the stadium, which is no longer dirt, but the stadium structure was up, and it just looked like the Star Trek like ship.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It looked like if the Star Trek ship crashed in Los Angeles. That's what it looked like at the time. And so it was really weird since we've been going, it's been COVID. Like I haven't been to Inglewood. Like I haven't really left my neighborhood that much. So when I saw the TV, I was like, oh my God, it's done. Oh, it's there.
Right.
Because it's like, you just, there's no concerts, there's no shows, there's nothing. It's like, that was the first time a lot of people in LA saw that stadium for the first time too. And it was just like, holy crap. They built a lake. They literally built a lake. Yeah. Like that lake was not there, people. I'm just letting you know, for anybody who watched the game, that lake was not there. That lake they built for the stadium.
Jeez. And I guess the Raiders haven't opened their stadium in Vegas yet, right? They didn't play at home.
That's this week, I think.
This week. So maybe we need to reconvene after we see some sites of that stadium, because that could be pretty interesting. A football stadium in Las Vegas. That might be one to add to the list as well.
Well, do they have a translucent roof? Because the announcers were addicted to saying the word translucent during that game.
Right.
God.
Right.
I mean, I knew it was cool, but they just they were like amazed by it. They're like, you could just see through it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep.
It's there, but it's like it's not there.
I'm like, yep, that's what it is, guys. It's a Yep. You can see through the roof. Yep. That's it. God, which is going to be cool for, I feel like it's going to be really cool for concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be like when all the lights are out, because for a football game, the lights are on. But like when all the lights are out for somebody, that's probably going to look pretty sweet. Well, guys, this now is a topic that was hotly debated, I guess, in the Gates household. So I'm going to let Chris go to this dessert debate that's about to go down.
Yeah, my wife and I just randomly, these are the type of COVID conversations you have nowadays. You have so much time at home that you dig into the deepest and most important of topics while you're at home. And we debated between cake, cupcakes, pie, cookies, and ice cream, ranking those top 5. And as we were discussing it, my wife Katie said, I like cupcakes more than cake. And I just started thinking, what other thoughts do people have? Because that one like floored me. Yeah. And so I was like, all right, we got to take it to the brunch breakdown. We got to talk this out as a group and rank these things and determine it for the country. So those are the 5: cake, cupcakes, pie, cookies, and ice cream. We need to rank them 1 to 5 or 5 to 1. I don't know. You want to go bottom up or top to bottom? Doesn't matter to me.
Hey man, I'm here for it. So do you want to go one by one?
Sure.
I'll go do our.
Yeah, we can go one by one and maybe explain it. Should we start at the bottom at each person's number 5?
Let's do that.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Well, Dan, why don't you kick it off, because I feel like this is in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, this is in my wheelhouse, and this is very difficult for me.
This is a difficult discussion.
This is a difficult discussion because I constantly going through this and having trouble because I love all these things so dearly. I'm interested to hear when we get to cupcakes, if there's any more reason as to why Katie is so fond of her cupcakes, because I have some things I want to talk about. So cupcakes is not going to be number 5 for me, and I'll explain why later. I'm going to put pies at 5 because I feel like to get the best out of a pie, usually it needs to be accompanied by something. That something is typically ice cream. So pies are good. Pies are fine. I think a Boston cream pie is better, which you can argue isn't even pie.
It's not pie.
It's not pie. So I've never just been blown away by a pie. The best pie on the planet is pumpkin pie. And there's only so many enhancements you can do. Love it, Chris. Love it.
We're gonna argue so much.
I know. I can't wait. There's like pies are often dry, and I've had good pies, I've had bad pies, but I've never been blown away by a pie. So putting pie at 5.
Oh my God.
Listen. No offense to anyone in your family, but obviously they just can't make pie. Because I don't know, I don't know how anybody could talk about pie in that way if they ever had a good pie. So you just haven't had a good pie, Dan. I'm sorry, you haven't. No offense to the Knop family. You guys can't make pies.
Yeah, maybe start buying pies.
I love the Eaton Park strawberry pie. I love it. I really do. But I can't put it above any of these other ones. I just can't.
Okay. Well.
Cupcakes are 5 for me, guys. I hate cupcakes. I hate biting into them. I hate the whole process of cupcakes. I end up just cutting it and making it cake, and it's stupid. I hate cupcakes. They're terrible.
My number 5 is cake.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, we are going to argue.
My number 5 is cake because I personally am just not a huge sugar and icing fan, and cake is normally presented with way too much icing for my liking. So with that said, cake is number 5, and I'll roll right into my number 4, which is cupcakes. The only reason that cupcakes are better than cake for me is because they're appropriately portioned, because nobody needs more than a cupcake. Otherwise, I mean, it's just too much all around. So 5 is cake, and then we roll into number 4 is cupcakes.
That's fair, and I'm with you there, but I like cake more than I like cupcakes because I find the just making of cupcakes just to be annoying. I'm like, what do you do with this? except turn it into cake. But I don't really like either of them. So there's that.
With number 4, let's see. Damn, here we go. I'm already like second guessing myself. I will put.
You
No,
want to move pie up to number 4, don't you?
I don't.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put ice cream at 4. I'm gonna put ice cream at 4 because there's a lot of ice
God.
cream out there, and a lot of it is just okay. A lot of it is just okay, like plain flavored ice cream, vanilla, chocolate, like those are fine. They're fine, but they're okay. And again, also they're usually accompanied better when it's with something. So, like I love the pumpkin ice cream and all the like there's Oreo ice cream and give me a Blizzard 2 days out of the week, but I'm going to put ice cream at 4 because and I'll roll into my number 3. Cupcakes are number 3 only for this reason. The filled cupcake game is completely different than a traditional cupcake. Traditional cupcakes do suck. I actually think, Chris, they have way too much icing. I think there's way too much icing on cupcakes compared to normal cake. It's like a 2-to-1 ratio, and that's way too much. So regular cupcakes suck. And if it were regular cupcakes, they're at 5. Actually, they're at 6. But the filled cupcake game, and if you haven't had one, you haven't had a good one, you need to go to a good bakery and get like a peanut butter and jelly cupcake or get a raspberry white chocolate vanilla cupcake that
No,
has
this is
filling.
that just sounds like pie. Like you're
Yeah.
filling it with pie fillings.
It's
But
like
then
cake and pie. It's amazing. It's the best of both worlds.
I don't know, man. Dan, I think there are flaws in your judgment.
There's lots of flaws in your
I
judgment.
don't like how you have to eat a cupcake, but I'm making it work for the filled cupcake game. That's the only reason that's at 3. You take the filling off the table, forget it. But because I don't like it's not easy to eat a cupcake. They were not created to eat easily. But that's why. And I wondered if that's why Katie had put cupcakes that high, or if she's just generally team cupcake all the way.
I think it's just because it's like exactly the amount that she wants. Like I think it's like the perfect size, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
How does she eat the cupcake though? Does she cut it? Or like does she do anything weird?
I think you should just, take
Shoves it in.
the thing off the bottom and get after it. I think.
Okay. All right.
All right, so what's your number 3s, boys?
Well, we need Dee Dee's number 4, right?
Oh no, I gave it. Mine's number 4 is cake.
His was cake.
Oh,
It was
got
basically the same reasons you said, just reversed. Like
All right. What's your number 3?
my number 3 is cookies. Number 3 is cookies because I couldn't put cookies. I knew because I like cookies because anytime there's cookies around, I'm eating them. And it doesn't even really matter if cookies are like all that good. They're just like there. I eat cookies. I like cookies a lot. Like I'm taking cookies over cake and cupcakes because they're easy to eat. I'm not getting icing all over my mouth. I'm not like trying to figure out how I'm supposed to shove this in my mouth or if I got to cut it in half or whatever you got to do. You just eat a cookie. You just grab and go. That's what you can't grab and go with cake or a cupcake. You can grab and go with a cookie. That's why it's number 3.
Yeah, I mean those are great reasons. I also have cookies at number 3. I don't know that I have like a great breakdown. They're just good. Like they're just good, but by process of elimination, you know that pie and ice cream are going to be 1 and 2 in some form, and I just don't enjoy them as much as those two. But I guess if we're getting more specific, like homemade over store bought, obviously. Like if we're talking about store bought, and then we're getting into things like the things like Oreos and different like Nabisco things and stuff, then like maybe my opinion changes. But if we're talking about just like homemade cookies, yeah, they're solidly number 3 and definitely above cakes and cupcakes.
Okay. My number 2 then is cake. I like cake. Cake is awesome. We're like completely opposite. Cake is really
My number
good.
2. I like
There's a lot of
cake.
different things you can do with cake. It doesn't have too much icing. You could eat it with a fork. You don't get messy. I'm a big fan of cake. It's airier, typically airier, fluffier than a cupcake. A cupcake is so compact. So I'd argue a larger piece of cake is the same as a regular cupcake because of the aerodynamics of the fluff. That's right. Give me cake at 2. Give me cake at 2.
What just happened?
What are we doing? What
I
are we
have no
doing
idea.
here?
I have no idea.
If
All
we're
right.
evaluating these foods based on aerodynamics, then I don't know what we're doing.
Changes the game.
It's like Dan eats foods for different reasons. Me and Chris are like, it's good. I pick it up. I eat it. Dan's like, well,
Yeah,
I also like a layered cake because then you can get that icing at different levels, and then it's got a perfect ratio. But meanwhile, the cupcake, you're guaranteed to get icing on your freaking schnoz because it's piled on there, and you're trying to like eat the bottom of it. Like, forget that. Give me a fork. Give me some cake.
Wow. Okay. So I guess we'll do 2-1.
Sure.
All right, 2-1. All right, 2 is ice cream. Number 1 is pie. Here's why. Ice cream is great, but pie is better with ice cream. And I love pie a lot, and I love putting both of them on each other. So I'm picking pie 1. Ice cream is 2. I just love them both, but I like pie better. Mainly because there are pies that I don't need ice cream with. Like strawberry pie. Great pie. Don't need ice cream with that. Just need a bunch of whipped cream with that. But like there are pies that I need ice cream with. That's apple pie. Apple pie is amazing. Dutch apple, with the crust all over the top. Stop it. Pie is number 1. Ice cream 2. Dan, please, for the love of God. Actually, Shannon, if you're listening to this, which you're probably not, get this man a really good pie, please. He's never had one. He needs one. He's never had one.
Shannon actually confirmed in Deep Creek that she has never listened to this podcast.
That's true.
Damn it, Siobhan!
So me and Didi are like, we're one and the same. Pie, number 1, ice cream, number 2. Pie, like, when you take pie and cake and you compare them to each other, if you're talking about like having a fruit-filled pie or having a cake with way too much icing on it, like the choice for me is easy. I want a fruit-filled pie. Any variety I know I'm going to love. Ice cream is also phenomenal. I feel like I'm more in the mood for pie consistently than I am in the mood for ice cream consistently. So that's why pie got that little bit of an edge and is my number 1. But yeah, pie number 1, ice cream number 2.
Chris, I feel like you haven't had a good cake. I feel like you've had a lot of store-bought cake, and that's a shame. We're gonna get you a special piece of cake at our wedding that's gonna have the appropriate amount of icing on it.
Ooh, so like after you guys do your cake cutting, I will do my cake cutting.
Yes, your cake. Exactly.
I love it.
Oh, guys,
you guys will be at the sweethearts table, and then I'll be at like just the table right next to you guys. I'm ready. We'll do it. I'm down.
Guys, cookies are 1. They're the most versatile. You're getting way more flavors. Are you kidding me? The holiday season with the amount and variety of cookies. Didi, you mentioned how easy they are to grab and go. You don't need a fork. You can have a lot. You can have a little. They are perfect. You can have them year round. I don't want ice cream in January, in February. It's too damn cold. I don't need ice cream then, and I don't want to bake a freaking cake. So cookies, homemade cookies for sure, Chris, but there's a variety of store-bought cookies. Oreos, let's go. That's enough to win you there. The variety of Oreos right now is outrageous. But give me cookies all day, any day. Cookies are 1.
Wow.
I don't hate cookies at number 1 because I love cookies. But your disrespect of pie I take it as personal disrespect.
There is nothing better than a cookie out of the oven. That's the best thing that's straight out of, it's the most fresh. The other things really can't be done that way. There has to be some cooling down and all that type of garbage. But give me cookies out of the oven all day.
That's something that someone who's never had a great pie out of the oven would say. It's it right there. Anybody who would say a cookie out of the oven is better than a pie out of the oven is just has never had a good pie.
I'm
Like,
saying it.
it's wow. It's alarming, Dan. Alarming.
When this pandemic is over, we all need to get into a room together and present each other with our favorite desserts prepared in the most optimal way, and then we can really hash it out in person.
Okay, I'm in.
Yes,
I'm game.
So,
absolutely.
At the rate this
Gotta do
pandemic is going, in 2023, we'll be doing our dessert
roundtable.
Yeah, dessert roundtable. I like it.
Like, wait, when do Pitt and West Virginia play? Like 2024 or something like that? When is it?
Yeah, something the 23, 24, something like that.
Mhm.
We might be safe by then. Maybe when they play, we'll figure it out.
We'll be ready.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get into what we are listening to. What's everybody listening to this week? Chris, get it started, man.
Sure. Yeah. So I recently shared a song off of Neckdeep's new album. It's called All Distortions Are Intentional. I think the song I put on the playlist was Sick Joke, but I've been taking more time to dive into just that entire album, and I really like it. So I'm going to put on probably one or two more songs from that album. But, Neckdeep is, if you're not familiar with them, they just, they keep evolving, and they really don't miss with their albums. Each album keeps getting better. They evolve bit by bit. If you listen to their first studio album up until now, it's really impressive. They're on the top of the game in terms of, that pop punk alternative genre. So I would highly recommend giving it a listen. And, I'll put a few more on the playlist this week from that.
Nice. Hit it, Dan.
I'm going with a new song this week from Didi, your dude, Marshmello, teaming up with Demi Lovato. It's okay not to be okay. I was really curious when I saw that these two were teaming up how this was going to go, because Demi Lovato's got such a wide vocal range, and she can really belt it out there incredibly. But and Marshmello can go either way, right? He can go with a really upbeat poppy song, or he can kind of lay that low key track down to just drive the track. And this is one of those ones that it's upbeat. It's got a really great catchy chorus, and beat to go along with it. I think it's another fire collaboration that at first I was like, ooh, okay, this could be interesting. And Marshmello's been really thriving on these like guitar lines a lot lately. It's not necessarily so much of just the electro in production to it, but the guitar lines that he infuses with a lot of these songs and these collaborations have been pretty impressive. And that's what drives this song as well. So Marshmello and Demi Lovato, it's okay not to be okay. A good message, a better song.
Nice. A lot of that song's really good. A lot of what Marshmello is doing, which is, it's sad, but a lot of what Marshmello is doing is like what Juice WRLD was doing, is what like Lil Peep was doing.
Yeah.
They're both dead, and it sucks because they were transitioning this pop punk hip hop sound that like you're going to hear a lot of. Like you're going to hear it's all happening. Like I'm watching it happen as I'm at work, and we're getting sent these young artists, and they are doing this, and I'm like, This is happening. Like it's all happening. There's going to be a big turn in music where all of a sudden I think a lot of people are going to start. There's going to be like a renaissance of the bands in the sound of like the early 2000s. It's going to be mixed with hip hop, but it's all happening like right now.
I love it.
Get ready for all of that.
I've been hanging out for 15 years, guys, just waiting for this moment.
Yeah, like it's happening. Like I'm telling you, it's all coming. Like it's all coming down. All right, so there is a song called "Phone Down" by Lil Baby and Stefflon Don. This song came out last year. I never heard it until last week, and I'm obsessed with it. And it tells you exactly what the song says. It says, "Put your phone down.
Yes, dude.
You don't need it. Don't pick it up." The song's incredible. I don't know where I was on the planet where I missed this song when it came out last year, but like, it's just a great song. Like I heard it and I was like, wait, who's this? Like, what is this song? I was like, I heard a Little Baby on it who's on the radio all the time now. And I'm like, this song's incredible. So Phone Down, Stefflon Don, Lil Baby. It is the perfect song for 2020 because I think we all need to put our phones down.
Dude,
we all need to put them down.
Amen to that. That's a great song. I'll take some blame on that because I remember hearing that song when it first came out and was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
This song is amazing. And yes, everybody needs that message. So Appreciate you bringing that back to life. Yeah, everybody take that message to heart. That's a great song, though.
Songs with good messages this week,
Yeah,
guys.
there you
Nice
go.
work.
Yeah.
My second pick is going to be from a band called Stand Atlantic. They have an album out called Pink Elephant and a song called Hate Me Sometimes. That's I think people will enjoy. Dan, I don't know if you're familiar with this band or not, but I think you'd really enjoy them.
They're great.
They're from Australia. It's a 4-piece pop punk band. Their vocalist, she just has an amazing voice. The Hate Me Sometimes, this song is a great example of that, because the song builds and builds and builds, and at the end, just the bottom drops out of it, and it's just her singing to finish out the song. This is another one where, like, I'm introducing a song from the album, and it's an album that I hope to dig into more over the next week. So I may have more from it when we do this this segment next week. But that's one I'm going to throw on to the playlist this week as well.
Big fan. Nice. I'm going to go in the alternative realm, stick there, and go with an artist who is absolutely blowing up in the alternative world. A young artist by the name of Chris. This is one is just for you, Beabadoobee. Yes, Beabadoobee. It's one word. She's absolutely incredible. She's I think 20 years old. Like I said, in like the alternative world of music, she's really, really catching a lot of steam, blowing up quickly. Her debut album called Fake It Flowers is coming out October 16th. Highly, highly anticipated, but she dropped a single last week called Worth It, and everything she drops, she's done a couple of collaborations. If you've heard, what's that song with Gus Dapperton? Or no, that's Super Lonely. Who's the other guy? Coffee for Your Head, I think is the name of the song.
It is.
He sings on that song, but she sings kind of high pitched, which she doesn't sound like all the time. So we'll put on Worth It so you can get to know Beabadoobee a little bit better.
Beabadoobee sounds like the person that wrote Ya Ya Ding Dong.
Can you please, Chris, try to spell Beabadoobee?
Oh, I love this. Yeah.
I want to say B, but I feel like you're going to say I'm wrong.
It's one
Do
word.
it.
That's your only
Spell
clue.
it.
It's one word. So go for it.
Don't think too hard about it. Just try.
Beadoobee.
No, but no.
Close. Kind
But
of.
you're close. Beabadoobee. Beabadoobee.
Just like it sounds.
I can't believe that when I typed this in Apple Music as soon as you said it. I was like, I can't. I don't even know what the hell's going on. But that's the Dunkin' Donuts song. That's the girl.
Yeah, you're right. It is. That just got on the Dunkin' Donuts commercials is that song.
Yeah.
So if you've heard that song on the radio or on those commercials, yeah, check out a lot of her other stuff. But we'll put on Worth It, and yeah, she's gonna be big time.
Okay, that song's the earworm. I mean, I thought it was like, somebody at Dunkin' Donuts made the song,
Right.
to be honest. Like, just says coffee and it sounds good in that commercial. I'm like,
Right.
You know what? No, I want Dunkin'. It sounds good. All right. Well, I put this artist on I put this girl on the playlist a couple weeks ago, putting her on again. Claire Rosenkrantz, Beverly Hills Boyfriend. That's the name of the EP, but also the song that I just kept playing this week. So big fan of Claire. 16 years old. Her dad produces her music. It's kind of like a Billie Eilish thing where it's like all in their house. It's a just musical family. They make a bunch of great music together, and it's interesting. I really like Claire. So Beverly Hills Boyfriend, Claire Rosenkrantz. Check it out.
Nice, dude. Yeah, what was that Backyard Boy that you had on a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was great song. So I'm excited to hear that.
All right, my third one, it's going to be the retro replacement this week. It's going to be Ray Charles by Chitty Bang, and here's the reason why.
All right.
Ever since I put Chitty Bang on the playlist a few weeks ago, have been dying to know what the hell happened to Chitty Bang, and we talked about it a little bit on that episode. So I did a little bit of research. I looked into what the hell happened to Chitty Bang, and I read that, like, at a certain point, I think it was in 2013, Zafoon he said, I'm retiring from this project. I want to focus specifically on producing. And you can look him up on social media now. Like he just That's what he does. He's a producer. And it looks like there's no like real definitive answer to what happened to because like the band didn't Chitty didn't stop at that point. He kept pushing forward. He kept saying he was going to release an album called Baggage Claim. I can't seem to find it. There were like a number of release dates where they said it was going to come out this, and then it got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. He's released a few singles over the last 3 years, like one a year for the last 3 or 4 years, but like they're fine. Like they're okay. They don't stick. Nothing like what the two of them had produced in the past, which makes me honestly so mad because they were magic together, you know? Yeah. But that just happens, you know, people go their separate ways, but we're going to put Chitty on this week because I just had to kind of dig into it a little more and find out what the hell happened.
Interesting.
Nice.
I like it.
Brunch Breakdown investigates.
Right.
Bang.
Yeah.
What happened?
Who else would you like us to investigate about?
I know.
Tell us.
Let us know.
Breakdown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Do it.
I'm gonna go with the group out of Iceland called that many people are familiar with, Of Monsters and Men. You're probably familiar with their song "Little Talks," which came out probably close to 8 years ago or so now. It's a very festival friendly song, but they had an album that came out last year, but they're saying, hey, we've been sitting around, we've got an anniversary come up, let's put out some new music. So they dropped a single called Visitor off of what they say is new music to be coming in 2021. So there's more electric guitar than usual. It's quicker moving than usual. They have the two kind of lead singers that blend really well with each other, and they do it even more so in this song. It's usually kind of call and responsey, but there's some more harmonies going on in this song. I really dig that. Their 10th anniversary celebration is coming up next year, so expecting more new music from them. I was really bummed. I'm supposed to see them live this summer for the first time. They had to cancel that tour, so hopefully next year, but more new stuff from Of Monsters and Men. Check out Visitor.
Nice. All right. My last one this week. Last week was the anniversary of Mac Miller's death, which is like still super crazy to even think about. And this song came to mind while a bunch of people were like posting songs and a bunch of different tributes to Mac Miller last week. Missed Calls. I feel like that is a great Mac Miller song that maybe if you're a Mac Miller fan, you're like, oh no, that's one of his best songs. But I feel like that's the song that just it should have just been, it's just a great song. Like maybe it should have been a big song. Maybe it shouldn't have been. Maybe it's just the song, a deep album cut that I love. But like Missed Calls by Mac Miller is just a great song. And it came on that first album. And then I feel like that was kind of a, and when I think about the album, when I think about that song now, I think about it like, this is what he wanted to do. Like this is the kind of music that he was like looking at doing. And then as we got to the last couple albums, it was like, that's really what he was doing. And it was talking about heartbreak and talking about these moments that, you know, that everyone can kind of relate to, and not just like the party thing. It's like kind of, you know, growing up into that. So Missed Calls by Mac Miller. I just, you know, song that was really in my head last week and wanted to throw it on the playlist.
Nice.
I like that song. That song is so good. And I feel like it would be really hard. It'll be really hard to listen to it. Like when we get around this time of year, you know, with Mac Miller passing and like that anniversary coming up, it gets hard to listen to his stuff, you know, like you want to remember him, but it gets hard. And like that song in particular, I think that'll be a hard one to listen to, but it's such a good song.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm going to put one more on there because I heard it today and I couldn't leave it off and I can't wait till next week. Dee Dee, you might be familiar with them. The Vamps, their songs All Night and Somebody to You are very, very familiar and popular. They came out with a song called Chemicals, and that song will be stuck in your head. Super catchy. It's like electro pop, really, really upbeat. They've got a new album coming out October 16th. So Chemicals from the Vamps. We're throwing that one on at the end.
Shouts to the Vamps. Shouts to the Vamps. God, I've listened to so much Vamps music. I've been to Vamps concerts.
So good.
Lots of Vamps. They are, girls don't stop screaming at their shows. That's the Vamps. That's all you hear at a Vamp show is just girls screaming. That's all you hear. Well, boys, this was fun. This was good.
Yeah.
This was
good. It's good to be back at the table once again, even though we had some disagreements. We'll figure those out along the way when we get to our dessert roundtable discussion. But we're going to put this up on social media. We'll have a couple of polls of who do you think was right between Didi, Chris, and myself in their top 5 rankings of those desserts. So please submit your votes. We'll recap those next week.
Yeah, let's see. If you haven't had a good pie, go get one. Go get a good pie. There's one in your town, I promise you. I promise you there's good pie somewhere.
There's a place called the Pie Place, like not that far away, so maybe I'll check them out up there.
Please do. And tell everybody where they can find the Brunch Breakdown.
You can find the Brunch Breakdown anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether that be iTunes, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Spotify. You can find us anywhere. And of course, don't forget the full video episode that goes along with the audio. You see what you hear what you see, available on our YouTube page and our Facebook pages released the same day as the audio podcast on YouTube and Facebook once again. And our other social media platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook. Of course, you follow us, we follow you back.
Love it. Well, boys, see you guys next week at the table. It's Brunch Breakdown. We're out. Peace.